Hello everyone, my name is Kriti and today I am creating this mini video lecture where I will be analyzing the Black Mirror episode Nauseter using the social construction of technology, or you can say SCOT for short form. So this episode is all about a world where your social interactions are rated on a five-star scale. And these ratings actually determine people's statuses and opportunities. So, for real life, maybe you can think of it as Instagram likes, but with life and death consequences. So, before we actually dig into the episode breakdown, let me tell you what Scott is. So, social construction of technology argues that technology does not evolve on its own. Instead, society shapes technology. So, the meaning and impact of any platform depends on how people design it, use it, and embed it into the social system. So, it primarily focuses on interpretive flexibility, which basically means that the same kind of technology can be used differently and understood differently by different groups of people. In short, technology is not neutral. It reflects on values, struggles, and negotiations of the society around it. Okay, so let's get into the episode breakdown. Let's start with scene one, where Lacey practices smiling in front of the mirror. So let's watch it together. So when you look at it, it actually seems a little bit silly, like Lacey standing in front of the mirror, practicing her smiles to just make sure she looks likable and is five-star ready. But what's actually happening here? Because the technology isn't forcing her to behave this way. Like there's no line of code in the app that says practice your smile. Instead, it's the social meaning attached to her ratings, like how others interpret her score. That is what drives her actions. So, this is exactly what Scott emphasizes interpretive flexibility. The same rating app could have been used in a more casual way, like just a simple like button. But in this society, it's socially constructed as the ultimate measure of status. So here, being a 4.5 isn't about numbers, it's about belonging and respect. Lacey's behavior shows us that cultural values like likability and perfectionism has been embedded into how this technology functions. Okay, so let's move on to the scene two, where at the airport, Lacey's rating drops and she loses access to her flight. Let's watch this short clip together.
To qualify.
Oh, I'm a 4.2.
I'm afraid you're actually a 4.183.
So, this scene is actually crucial because it shows how something that started with just a personal rating system has now evolved into a structural tool of control, a rating that now determines whether she can travel or not. So the technology has become like a gate controlling who can access housing, services, even social circles. So in real life, if we were to think about it, let's imagine about our credit scores, Uber ratings, Instagram likes and followers. So these numbers actually does not mean that a person is trustworthy or popular. It's the society. Like we have created these meanings to these numbers. Like if your credit score is high, you will have access to loans and housing and other things. Whereas if your credit score is low, you have no access at all. You have to work hard for it. So that's what's shown in this scene as well. Like her rating drops and then she loses her access of her flight. Here we also see an important concept of Scott, which is closure. So closure happens when society determines a dominant meaning of technology. So in this case, the meaning would be your rating equals your worth. So that's how she loses access of her flight. Now let's move on to the next scene. I actually couldn't add the video clip to show because it would have been too long. But it's towards the climax where she reaches her friend's wedding and she has a meltdown. So at the climax of this episode, Lacey completely breaks down. Like she's stressed, exhausted, and angry. And the audience immediately pulls out their phones to downvote her. Within seconds, her rating drops. So now this scene highlights a key concept of Scott. That is, technology is not acting on its own. It's not the app punishing her. It's the people using the app according to shared norms about what counts as acceptable behavior. So, technology here has become a tool of social control. Lacey's meltdown threatens the polished, polite world that everyone has agreed to, and the community uses technology to enforce values without even thinking twice. So, combining all these three scenes together, we understand about interpretive flexibility, closure, and community enforcement. So, all these three things together basically tells us that we shouldn't generalize the numbers with trust or any kind of meaning. We shouldn't take it as general humanity. So, Black Mirror basically positions us to reflect on our own use of likes, followers, and ratings. So, through Scott, here we see that Instagram or TikTok ratings aren't inherently harmful. We create their meaning and embedded them into system of status, trust, and opportunity. So, this basically tells us that the apps don't use people. People use the app. So the app is not telling you to behave in a certain way or to act in a certain way, but it's the people, it's the societal meaning that is embedded into those likes and followers that actually drives your behavior in a certain way. So, this whole Black Mirror episode basically tells us that the danger lies in how society collectively agrees to treat digital scores as real measures of identity and value. The episode warns us not to mistake socially constructed meanings for genuine human worth. So, to wrap this all up, social construction of technology helps us see that Nocidive isn't just about evil technology taking over. It's about how people, through different norms, expectations, and institutions, shape the meaning of a rating system with real consequences. So, Black Mirror uses this exaggerated world to show us the power we already give to social media and digital feedback in our own lives. And to wrap this up, I would just like to share like a small example which is a little bit similar. So recently I was just scrolling through my Instagram and I saw this BTS member Kim Taeyong, aka V, post his pictures. And he posted a single picture with his beards, and there were so many comments giving him suggestions about, you know, that you do not look good with beard. And immediately in seconds, you will see that that guy deleted that picture. So, what does that show us? That we gave the meaning to those likes and comments that, okay, this has power over you, that this is more important. And that actually affected him and actually made him take an action and delete the picture. So, that's what Scott is all about. Thank you for listening. I hope you can understand that we do not need to give that much power to social media. Let's just give our genuine human worth to each other and not give power to the technology. Thank you once again.